Shinji Ikari is the main character of the show Neon Genesis Evangelion, or Evangelion for short. Evangelion is about a futuristic city called Tokyo 3, which is under attack from giant monsters called angels. To combat this, a militaristic organization known as NERV summons 3 teenagers to pilot giant mechs known as Eva units to fight off these angels. Shinji is one of these teenagers, along with 2 teenage girls named Rei and Asuka. Rei and Asuka are both adept at piloting the Eva units and have very little trouble fighting. Shinji, on the other hand, is extremely apprehensive about nearly every encounter with having to pilot his Eva and fight the angels. It's this apprehensiveness that makes him relatable as a character. Shinji is extremely afraid to fight these giant monsters in these giant mechs, just like anyone, especially a 14-year-old boy, would be. A lot of the times he selfishly runs away and doesn't want to pilot his Eva unit because he's too scared or anxious. He's an anime character who's believable, and who you could easily see as being a person in the real world. A lot of teenage and young adult main characters in anime, especially in shonen series, are seemingly fearless in their actions. Now, this usually makes sense in the context of the character's world. For instance, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece has a ton of confidence because of his upbringing around tough, yet morally questionable, male figures in his life, as well as his devil fruit abilities that turn his body into rubber. It makes sense that Luffy has the confidence to take charge and chase his dreams of becoming the greatest pirate, especially since he lives in an era where a ton of other people are trying the exact same thing. His personality fits in with the other characters in the story, as it's very clear that One Piece isn't trying to craft realistic personalities, and neither are a ton of other shonen series. And again, this isn't a bad thing at all. It just leads to unrelatable characters being represented a lot of the times, which isn't a bad thing. A lot of people watch anime for escapism or to watch unrealistic characters that are very strong. Shinji Ikari is relatable though because he represents a realistic personality type. He has believable emotions, believable fears, and believable struggles with social interaction. He isn't someone that you can easily look up to and aspire to be, he's someone that you see yourself in. And I think that's what makes the character so highly praised and so highly disliked by a lot of people. And I think a lot of the people who dislike Shinji as a character are a little misguided. Now don't get me wrong, you can absolutely hate Shinji as a character, and that's completely fine. Though whenever I read comments like, why doesn't Shinji just man up, or why doesn't Shinji just shut up and pilot the Eva, I sort of think the people that write these comments and say these things might have a misunderstanding of what Evangelion is trying to accomplish as a show. The show, to me, is more about the characters' feelings and emotions than it is about watching robots fight each other. Every fight scene is used to develop the characters and show how they handle the disastrous events and how they contextualize them in their minds. We get a lot of humanization of Evangelion's characters, and Shinji is a prime example of this. We see him struggles with issues with his father, issues with talking to women, and issues with communicating and understanding the gravity of the situation he's in. He's a more nuanced human main character than a lot of main characters, though I do understand how it could be frustrating to see Shinji not take action when he needs to, especially since his peers are so much better at fighting than he is, and he's the main character. This never really bugged me though, and I thought it was interesting to have a main character done like this and have it portrayed so well. A lot of anime do the whole weak main character thing, but Shinji's a fantastic example of the concept. The director of the series, Hideki Anno, has said that each character in the series reflects a part of his personality, and I think that really shows with Shinji. Anno has a pretty public and well-known history with clinical depression, and you could see that reflected in the character of Shinji, as Shinji is depressed and withdrawn through much of the series. You can see Anno's depression seep into other parts of the series, such as parts of its production and certain parts of it being rushed. You can tell that the series is very genuine, and especially the character of Shinji. He comes from a very honest and genuine place, and I think this honesty is what makes Shinji one of my favorite anime characters. Well, that's all for this video. Leave a comment and tell me what you think about Shinji or Evangelion, and leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.